Aster's almost 8 months old. We've been doing this with her since she was like 3 to 4 months old. When we first got Sadie, she hated this dryer. She would climb me. She wanted to get away. She didn't want any part of it. They get used to it. It takes time and consistency. You got to keep at it. Other thing what I do when I'm doing her face is I'll back the dryer off and just kind of let it gently blow on her face. It works pretty just as much as effectively. Just takes a little longer, and then she doesn't mind it as much. And that's for just getting that last little bit dried out. You might notice she's starting to look pretty sleepy. This is pretty tiring for her, and when we're done, she will take a really nice long nap. But look at how tired she's getting.
Oh, I asked her. Good girl. Mwah!
Okay, so for the back end, usually I keep it nice and gentle on the dryer. I put my arm around in front of her rear leg and in between so I can kind of control where her tail is. And I also lean in a little bit to give her a little bit, to make her more comfortable, because they really don't like their back end being blown dry. So I'll just kind of lean in and kind of give her back end area a little hug so she knows that I'm not putting her in a real vulnerable position. And then I can also move her tail, which way, one way or the other. Because at this point in time, she's not going to hold her tail up. I got to make it go where I want it to go. This is called the pants. When I'm blowing this dry, it doesn't really matter, just get it dry. But when we're brushing this gets brushed in a downward direction. So the pants go down. But when I'm drying, it doesn't matter. So it might occur to you that the dog's feet get wet all the time. They run out in the dewy grass. But when you give them a bath, dry their feet all the way anyway. Even between their toes, especially up the back of their hocks, because really, think about it. When you have a dog with wet, furry wet feet, it just picks the dirt up. And then as soon as their bath is done, they got dirty, filthy feet until the next bath. So get their feet nice and completely clean, and then at least you know they have nice clean white feet, at least for a little while.
Say again.
That's it. Okay, after's pretty much dry now. And just now that I have blown her hair every which direction, all over her body, I'm gonna just kind of go over her now now that the blower's off, and just kind of comb out
Directional.
with just a wide tooth comb. I brush her rough area up, brush her back, and see how nice and smooth the comb goes through. And I'm right down to her skin. No
And
snags,
she obviously
no
has that wild 8-month
this-
puppy coat, kind of wavy, but still, the brush should go through nice and, or the comb should go through nice and easy.
Yeah. So what I use today are just the comb and a pin brush, and that's all I use. If there's any mats, sometimes there's a couple of little small mats around their ears and around their neck, usually from their collar or even from this grooming loop. Then I'll take a smaller comb and just kind of very gently holding the area with one hand, and then just gently pulling it away with the comb. Don't just go like this and rip it away. It hurts them. So you just take it very gently and just pull at the little spot. Don't use that. That's
And you can also use a metal comb too. You know, they come in obviously different sizes. For this, you want to use one of the bigger sizes, and again, it should just go nice and easy through.
Okay, so now we're in between baths. Let's say it's been a couple days or a day since Aster had her bath, and we just want to blow her out again, just to make sure that her coat stays nice. And you never want to blow out a fully dry dog. You always want to mist it down a little bit. Number one, because in certain environments you get some static electricity and you're zapping yourself and the dog with the dryer. The other reason is it's just more drying on their coat if you don't mist it down a little bit and get it a little bit wet. So again, I just use my white tooth comb and my pin brush.
And the mister.
This is a mister. This is fantastic. This is from Chris Christensen, and when I pump spray it, I don't just get one quick mist. I get it keeps misting. Watch me squeeze it. I let go and it kept on. So it's kind of nice. You can just pump it one time and it'll kind of keep on spraying for a second or so. Just do a little bit, just so there's a nice little damp surface to her coat. Now I'll crank it up.
With the nozzle off.
Nozzle off. Just brush it. We do this all over. I'm just doing this small little patch because actually she just did have a bath, and we're just doing this for demonstration. Okay, this is the part they usually hate the most, but they get used to it if you keep working at it. It's very important, whether you have a show dog or a pet, to keep their nails trimmed. A lot of people like to just use this tool. It's basically just a cutter, and you just manually cut them. It's got a little guard here that is adjustable that keeps you from being able to clip too much off at one time. We have used this, but we've also, because we're doing this more frequently and find that this is more of an official tool, we Dremel their feet. This is what all the show people do, so we jumped right on the bandwagon. We got a model that has a rechargeable battery. Just plug this in, charge it up, and this has a variable speed. So you can adjust the speed, and then I usually let her sniff it a little bit beforehand so she knows what I'm getting ready to do.
Show her big long talons before and after.
Okay, so here's Aster's.
And we haven't done this since she last showed.
Probably
a few
a couple
weeks ago,
weeks,
so
just a couple weeks.
They're long for her, but
Not terrible.
not crazy.
So I just turn this on. I don't have it on a super high. I let her I'm going to turn that down. I let her acknowledge that it's going to make noise and buzz. She's pretty good about this. Usually I have kind of a little physical technique for myself to make it easier for myself and get leverage. I'm a lefty. Obviously you can do this with either hand. But I tend to pick up her foot, and I'll usually use my elbow of that same arm to give leverage. So I can, and I just grab any toe, whatever's easiest, and just gently touch for just split seconds at a time. And not a lot. You don't want to hold it on there and leave it there because it actually gets hot for them and it hurts. So I'll just do another nail. And the more you do this, number one, the more they get used to it. But number two, the quick inside their nail will actually recede back. So at first you might not be able to do much and get it very short because the quick is right there. But the more frequently you do it, the quick will actually recede, and you'll be able to get it a little bit shorter and shorter and shorter. I don't know if you can really tell, but the quick is kind of right. The pink is not that far back from where I'm working, so I don't want to go much farther. But I also will do a little bit on the end here to round it off. The dew claw is a little more challenging sometimes. Good girl, you stay. Okay, one more foot on one more nail. And some of the nails a little faster than others. Like some on the back, you don't have to do as much. There's hardly anything you have to do.
Good girl.
And the front ones seem to grow pretty fast. Okay, now it's Sadie's turn. Sadie is 18 months old. Actually, she'll be 19 months old tomorrow. And she happens to be in season right now. So usually, basically the procedure is the same. But when I'm rinsing and scrubbing her back end, I usually try to be a little bit more gentle because it is sensitive back there. And although at the same time, I really want to make sure that it gets nice and cleaned up. So,
Hi, Tay.
It's hot out here, but she's gonna cool off shortly with the hose.
So this is Sadie. She's had her little bath. She's the dancer. She'll dance around for a little while. Let her roll around here.
We don't
Get
worry
herself.
about it since we're about to dry her, so get the little grass on her, it's okay. We don't have mud here. If we had dirt or mud, I'd be worried, but she's gonna pee.
So Miss Sadie's up on the table right now. Same process again. She's in season, so we just same process exactly, except we're just a little bit more sensitive around her backside.
And she's pretty much back in full coat now, if not fully back in coat. So she's got a nice, once she's all dry, she's got a nice full coat right now. So on a lot of Sammys, shocker, you will find at least one black hair, sometimes several. Sadie has a bunch. So right, you can see right here, she's got some right in there down her back. She's got a little patch right there. She's also got a few further down here and some down on her pants. But really when they're all groomed out, you can't even notice. It's not a flaw, it's not a problem. It's just a fun little kind of treasure hunt when you first get your Sammy to discover where their black hairs are.
Yeah.
Same thing. I just reach my arm in between and lean in against her. I don't love having the air blow them in the back end. So I can get the inside of both of her legs nice and dry, and the pants part, and underneath her tail.
Good girl.
Crank it up a little bit, maybe. Still recording? This actually also helps because sometimes when you're blowing their back end, they sit right down. So I can hold her up and keep her from sitting this way too.
Mercedes, all done. Hey, baby. Oop. So that took about 55 minutes from start to finish with Sadie, and about the same with Asher. It took a little more because we were doing some taping. Usually we got it down to about an hour and 40 minutes, hour and a half for both dogs. When Kate bathes one, I start drying, and when we kind of work as a team effort. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, Sadie's pretty much dry now. And she is 19 months old tomorrow. So you can see how her coat is straighter. And now that she's all dried out, you can see her coat is nice and smooth. You can run the comb right through it all the way.
No tension.
She's all beautiful.
Okay.